With the recent winter storm that blew through the East Coast, leaving tons of people without power, it got me thinking how much a simple system like this one behind me could power. I was able to purchase this Grecell 300-watt power station for about $107 with tax and shipping, and this 100-watt panel for $95, both of which I got on Prime, so it was quick delivery. And I want to see how many items in my home I can realistically power with this simple $200 setup. So with that, let's jump right into it. Okay, so this is the Grecell 300-watt power station. Again, this was $107 with everything shipped to my door, and very compact and lightweight. I love the design here, very basic. So we have our readout there. We have a light on the side for an emergency, which is awesome. AC input, DC input. This is a 60-watt USB-C, and then we have a USB-A here as well as a cigarette lighter. And this is going to be our input. So this is what's going to come with the kit. We have a wall charger that plugs in right here at the top right. Same thing with our solar connections. So when we want to charge this up, we'll simply plug it in there, and this end will go to our solar panel. And then of course we have a car charger. So this makes it really nice if you're traveling in the event of a storm. You can charge that on the go with your alternator, which adds to the functionality of this. And then here we have our Zoop. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but I think it's Zoop solar panel. So on the back side, we have these stands so we can direct this to get the most sunlight depending on where the sun is. And then there's a nice magnetic handle, which is really cool. Makes it super easy to carry around and put in your vehicle or bring it wherever you want to bring it. So now that we've shown you the product itself, let's put this thing to the test. We've got 100% charge, so we're going to do some tests with what this can power, and once we get it drawn down a little bit, we'll plug it in and see how quickly we can charge this with our 100-watt solar panel. Okay, so first and foremost, I just want to test out some basic stuff like this lamp here just to see how much that draws. Okay, so our AC power is on. Our light instantly came on. Looks like that pulls about 47 watts. That's pretty high actually for a lamp. It seems like it would be lower than that, but powers that no problem. Let's move on to some other stuff. Okay, next we're going to try out our coffee grinder and our coffee maker. I want some coffee anyway, so this works out great. So again, our AC is on. I'm genuinely curious to see how much this coffee grinder generates, but let's see if it'll actually do it. So it looks like about 100 watts. All right, that was a great success, I would say. Now let's try the coffee maker. All right, here goes nothing. So we got this plugged in. We're at 95%. So let's go ahead and bump this on and see what we got. Okay, so it looks like our coffee maker overloaded this. That doesn't surprise me. Generally, coffee makers have a heating element that pulls a lot of amperage for a small device to heat up that water, especially this one that heats it up instantly. And this is kind of like a pour over design. So maybe that's why. Let's go ahead and check out our kettle and see what that does. Okay, so we got our electric kettle here. Plug this guy in. See what happens. Yeah, same thing. Again, not surprising. If we need to boil water, we can typically use a gas stovetop or some other means to heat up that water. But this simply isn't going to do it. It's just too small. All right, next up is going to be our refrigerator. So I've had these doors open and I'm going to let some of that cool air out to actually make this fridge come on. So we're going to press our AC button. AC is on. And let's see what happens here. Okay, well that was a swing and a miss. This fridge probably pulls 400 or 500 watts if I had to guess. So it just won't do it. It'll turn the lights on inside the fridge, but as soon as that compressor tries to come on, it just won't do it. Okay, so thus far the Grecell 300 watt power station hasn't been able to power any larger appliances like our fridge, our coffee maker. Needless to say, our microwave, it's not gonna power those items. But we're gonna test some smaller items, and then we're going to show you our gas furnace. I'm really curious because our gas furnace does not pull a whole lot of energy. I honestly think that this will be able to power it and give you emergency heat in a winter power outage. Now, with that being said, if you tried to power an electric strip heater, it's just not going to do it. And something I want to mention too is that even if you were to plug in a small thing like this into your fridge, your microwave, a space heater, it's just not going to power it for very long at all. But I do want to see how long it would run our gas furnace. Okay, so I want to try something smaller like this fan here in case we're camping or something of that nature. And I just want to see if it'll power this and how many watts this will draw. So that came on no problem. Man, that's super efficient. It's not even saying it's pulling any watts on the low speed. So you could probably run this for a really long time, and it's putting out a good amount of air. So if we were camping in the summertime and we just wanted to have a little bit of air movement, this would be awesome for that. Let's move it up to level 2. Much more airflow there. And it still says we're only pulling 6 watts. It's going up a little bit. 9 watts. So not much at all. And that's high speed there. So 15 watts to run this on high speed, and this thing is just blasting air. So really awesome for that. And needless to say, if we want to power devices with our USB-C port and USB-A ports, this is obviously going to be a really good option for that. So the next thing I want to test is our gas furnace. So if you've never seen one of these, this is called an easy generator switch. And all it does is, in a normal situation, when there's grid power is coming in right here, going through the easy generator switch and into the furnace under normal operation like this. Now, if we want to plug this into a generator or a power station and solely power the gas furnace and nothing else, you can get this for less than $100, and it just lets you give power to the furnace. So all we would do is take an extension cord, put the female end here, the male end into our power station, and then pop this over to generator, and then it's going to provide power to the thermostat, and we can go to the thermostat and turn the gas furnace on. So let's go ahead and get an extension cord plugged into this and see what we can do here. Okay, so we have the female end of our cord plugged in there, and we have the male end plugged in here. So we're just gonna turn on the screen here and make sure that we have juice. So this is going over to generator power. So we'll go over to our thermostat and see what it says there. All right, so here at our thermostat, we're just gonna bump this up over the temperature inside here by a couple of degrees. And looky there, our inducer is on. This is a demo furnace, so I'm not gonna let this run. Obviously, it's venting here. We're pulling 128 watts. The hot surface igniter had just come on. That's probably what's gonna pull the most watts here. So we peaked at about 150 or so, give or take. And next we should have ignition. There we go. So I'm gonna open some windows in my garage door, and we'll see if this thing has enough power to run the blower motor. Blower motor should be coming on any second now. So we peaked at about 320. This should stabilize a little bit here. But we're able to power everything off of this battery right now. Fan is on, and we're spitting out tons of heat. Now, the only downside to this power station is that it doesn't give us a readout to tell us how long it would be able to power this. But I'm just gonna let this run for the next little bit and see how much it draws down our battery. But thus far, we're at 85, so we're looking pretty good. All right, so we've been running for about 5 minutes now. This is continuing to increase in temperature. This nice warm air coming out of here. We've got our garage door open. Obviously, I don't want to let that run. I need to get a permanent vent here, obviously. But as you can see right now, we're at 80% after about 5 minutes, and this is continuing to pull about 321 watts. So that gives you an idea of how long this would run. Not a huge amount of time, but if this was in a regular home, a smaller home, the furnace will cycle on and off, and this could last a couple hours and get you out of a pinch. So now that we have that drawn a little bit, we're going to hook up our solar panel and see how quickly we can get this up to 100%. Okay, so we have our panel plugged in here, and as you can see, it's only pulling, it was pulling 20 watts earlier, now it's down to 16 because we have heavy cloud coverage today. The sun peeked out for a couple minutes and then went back. So this is kind of a real life scenario here. If there's not sun, we're going to start our time right now. It's 1:45 and see how long this takes to get up to, a little bit higher on our battery percentage. The other really cool thing about this solar panel is that it has a spot right here where you can plug directly into the solar panel. So in a real emergency, when you don't have any juice, you can plug in devices here, and that's a really cool feature that I like about this Zoop $95 panel. All right, guys, it is about 1 hour later, 2:48 p.m., and the sun decided to pop up, which is amazing. So it's a little bit, just so happened that it came out in the last hour. But as you can see, we're at 93%, and we're getting 45 watts. The sun is kind of low in the sky, so if it was up higher, we could get closer to that 100, but you're never going to get 100 out of a 100 watt panel. There's going to be some loss there. The most this will probably ever get is maybe 75, 80 watts. And we have these nice little legs so we can put it exactly where we want. Super nice panel, and within an hour we're almost back up to 100%. So I'm really impressed with this setup. It's a small machine, and for $200 it's not going to power some larger devices, but I was really impressed that this could power my gas furnace, and that's huge. So if you have a gas furnace, this thing will power it. I've proven that, and that's just awesome. Well, guys, I'm really impressed with the Grecell 300 watt power station and this 100 watt solar panel for about $200. This is a great bang for your buck if you need some source of power. Now you can go bigger and better. You're going to get higher up in the price range, of course, but for $200, I think this is really awesome. And I was so impressed that it was able to power my gas furnace and how quickly it was able to charge up off of the sun. Now, if you were interested in this device that I have on my gas furnace called the Easy Generator Switch, you can check out the full installation video of that and where to find it in this video right here. And I hope you find it informative. Until next time, you guys be safe. Later.